Hey everyone, I'm Robert Wolf with Heartland Advisory Services. For decades, I've worked with food and agricultural industry that has kind of shaped who I am, my career, and my life along the way. I've earned the degrees in accounting and finance and done a lot of public policy and agricultural policy along the way. And all with kind of the one goal in mind of helping the farmers and the agribusinesses to succeed in a world that is constantly changing. So today I'm kind of excited. I'm going to go ahead and announce the fact that I'm starting something new, and that is alongside my daily newsletter, I'm launching a podcast and a new YouTube channel. Now, I'll be honest with you, the rollout's going to be a little rough, at first, because if you know me at all, I'm a straightforward kind of tell it like it is kind of guy. I'm not the polished around the edges type person. So, what you'll get here is the real unfiltered perspectives that I've gained through the years in the food agricultural industry, specializing in finance and leadership. Um, what you can expect is a breakdown of the latest agricultural news and a sense of what it really means, not just the producers, but for the rural communities, the families, the consumers as well. Agriculture isn't just about the markets or the policies or the numbers. It's about the people, the livelihoods, and the future of our food system. My goal is to provide the clarity and context and conversation around issues that matter the most. You know, I think back, and one of the things that it's always kind of struck me is, you know, for most of us were probably a little too young to have been adults at the time, but under the Nixon era, we had the Secretary of Agriculture, Earl Butz. Yeah, Butz. And he famously told farmers that they either needed to get big or get out, and it became the rallying cry for the industrial scale farming in America. But maybe it's time we check back in with that philosophy. Is bigger really better? Did it work out better? Is it best for the farmer and the consumer? Or even the future of the food system itself? So whether you're a farmer or an agribusiness professional, or simply someone who cares about where their food comes from, I invite you to join me here each week. Together, we're going to dig in deeper into the headlines and to explore some of the opportunities and talk honestly about the challenges facing the agriculture today. Because it's not just the United States, it's the world. Sometimes we might want to throw the cover over our head and pretend it's only the United States, but what we do affects the world, and what the world does affects us. You know, I say this all the time, and 20 years ago, if somebody would have mentioned that Brazil would become the larger soybean producer and outproduce the United States, most farmers would have been like, yeah, right. But it happened. Now, you know, Brazil's the leader in the soybean industry and kind of the second fiddle. And this year, here in 2025, I heard a lot of people saying, oh, China's going to have to buy, China's going to have to buy. Maybe we need to be prepared for a year in which China doesn't buy. I'm just saying. Maybe it's time we start thinking a little bit more about ourself and our needs and understand that sometimes bigger isn't always better. Well, again, so I'm Robert Wolf, company's Heartland Advisory Services. I advise farmers, agricultural companies, on financial leadership and insights uh, for the next generation of farms and agribusiness. You have a wonderful day. Thank you very much.